Hello and welcome to the Cool Kids live review and discussion of James Cameron's latest epic blockbuster, Avatar 3, Avatar 3 Fire and Ash. Oops, sorry, I almost said the way of water. But Avatar 3 Fire and Ash being the so if you've seen the film before, you know the format. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. Let's talk first of all about our expectations. So kind of want to do as an open discussion. So for me, I would say my expectations are pretty high for this one. Just for me, because for me, I was a fan of the first two. I liked them. I really liked them. But I really enjoyed them. So I was looking forward to this as well. James Cameron always creates a big spectacle, so my expectations were pretty high. So what about you guys?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a big Avatar guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not crazy about the first one.
Yeah,
because I'm definitely like in agreement with like most people. Like, sure, it's beautiful, but just the story and the characters are just not interesting. And I know it sounds repetitive to say this, but I mean, come on, the first movie is just Dances with Wolves with aliens, and the second one was fine, but it was just more of the same. Sure, it was beautiful, and there were some good ideas, but it was just, again, it was more of the same. I still don't think Sam Worthington's acting improved. I still found Quidditch to be a bland villain, and it was just so fucking long.
it was very long.
And most of the runtime wasn't really dedicated to developing the characters. It was just showing how beautiful the visuals were.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have a lot of high expectations for this one, which is kind of a shame to say because I do love James Cameron.
Yeah.
Like, I love all of his movies except for these.
Oh, by the way, I just want to say hello, Willie Dog Games.
Hey.
Thank you, Jake, for joining us. Appreciate you. What about you guys? Rob, John, what about you guys?
Okay. Do you want me to go? Okay, I'll go next. So I'm kind of like in the same boat as Devin. The first one wasn't bad, but it was just like very like, I mean, it is pretty much Dancing with Wolves with blue Smurf cats, but that's pretty much and the second one, I do remember liking it a little bit more. Although after a rewatch, I was like I honestly kind of forgot everything that happened, and then I rewatched it at some point, and then it was just like, it was it got a tad bit worse, but I mean, then again, it wasn't bad. I don't think these two are bad, but it's just like kind of so my expectations were kind of like, like what Devin is like, I didn't have super high, although if there was one thing that I was actually excited for, it's seeing my man and seeing an IMAX. Yep. I'm always looking forward to seeing an IMAX movie with my fellow North Carolinian here.
Yeah, and I can't wait. We'll definitely be talking about that aspect too, because I mean, but yeah, IMAX, absolutely love it. Since we first saw my first one in IMAX with them, the first at least full feature length film, Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
was the first one I ever saw in IMAX, and wow.
Fun fact: it was we were originally supposed to see Avatar: Way of Water in IMAX, but because the IMAX theater, somebody had fucked up the schedule because they claimed that they closed it because they were doing repairs on it.
Yeah,
and then we didn't know that they had pretty much reopened it until the day that we were supposed to see it.
Exactly, and
someone at AMC really fucked up with that.
Yeah, and I had already bought our tickets, so exactly. But we did see it at, I think, Dolby or 3D or whatever. It was at 3D, I know, obviously, but I mean, I think it might have been Dolby. Did we see it in Dolby? I don't.
It was maybe 3D, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, so
I don't think so. I don't think we did.
No. But it did look well. We'll get to that later. But John, how about you?
Yes, because it's an official law that bearded fucks always go last. So I shall keep the tradition going. So I remember way back when I first watched Avatar, I was like, oh my, I saw it when I was 12, so I'm like, oh my god, this is the greatest movie ever. But that's like kind of what you are when you're a kid. You're like, every movie you see is like, oh, this is the greatest movie ever. I kind of was like that with Avatar. I loved it. I had a shirt of it. I went to go see it in IMAX back when an IMAX was near where I lived. So I thought it was the greatest thing ever. But as time went on, I realized I think I might have rewatched it on TV, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of not that great, but like it's fine. It's like it's not bad. It's just okay. Way of Water was a little bit better. It was good, but nothing great. So I didn't have a ton of expectations for this. Again, I wasn't going in expecting to hate it. I try not to do that as much. So I don't want to go in expecting to hate a movie. Because usually if that's the case, they're in my pit of empty souls already, and I'm not going to go see them anyway. So, that's neither here nor there. So I wasn't expecting to hate this. I'm like, I'll at least have a good time. And I think that's what I did. It was a good time. So, not a ton of expectations, but I didn't like expect to hate it. But yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So it seems that was for most group wars. Me, I've enjoyed them. So, but most people kind of, seem kind of middling, So, but it makes a lot of its money overseas. I know, especially China, So, but anyway, let's go ahead and move on to positives. Positives. What about the positives, gentlemen? Because for me, I mean, obviously, I would say this might have been. I told Rob, he said this might be the best looking movie I've ever seen, because with the smooth frame rate and everything, the 3D, this is one of the things that James Cameron has always excelled in, making movies look cinematic, and this looks cinematic. Because if there's one thing you can say this guy is definitely saving theaters, it's that movies like these movies are definitely best when seen in theaters. Seen in theaters in 3D, so especially and in IMAX, which is what we were saying. So seeing it in IMAX, maybe it would just that, but it looks absolutely amazing. It looks absolutely stunning. So if you can see it in IMAX, if you can afford it at least, I would highly recommend it. But the technology was a huge huge positive for me. And I loved the new villain, Varang, played by Una Chaplin. She was absolutely fantastic. I like Quaritch because for me, Stephen Lang is just such an easy villain to hate, because at some point it's like, oh God, I hate this guy. And he said that's when the guy's doing a great job. So Stephen Lang is a really, really solid actor. He gives his 100% always. Hell of a charismatic actor, and he could just melt into any role, So and he's really good here as well. I thought he and Una Chaplin as Varang had great chemistry, and of course, I love the whole chemistry between the Sully family, Neytiri and Jake, and everything. Sigourney Weaver is Kiri. I love what they're doing with her, kind of developing her. She's basically, Avatar Na'vi Jesus, So at this point, so she's kind of becoming Na'vi Jesus, so the chosen one, it seems. So, but I really enjoyed it. I thought the action was great. Of course, the action was really great. The action was a lot of fun. So it had a lot of action in the first, kind of, sort of, lacked a little bit in the middle, but then in the end, you got, of course, a huge, big finale. So, but those were the big positives for me. I guess I had a lot of positives though. So, what about you guys?
I'd say like my positives here. Obviously, the visuals. These movies, no matter what I think of, like the writing and the characterizations of stuff, like these movies are always going to be a feast for the eyes because, like you said, all of James's movies look fantastic.
Yeah.
His effects, like you could tell, he definitely takes his time to perfect his effects, whether it's these movies, whether it's Titanic, whether it's Terminator 2
Mhm.
or The Abyss. Like his movies always look beautiful.
He's always pushing the envelope.
He's always pushing the envelope. Action scenes, I really like the action, especially the big fight at the end.
Mhm.
With the RDA, the fire tribe, like coming in and fucking shit up. I did feel some investment towards some of the characters, like I did feel for Loak, and I did think they did okay job like handling like loss and grief, even though that's a trope I'm really starting to get sick of now with movies. Like you could tell, because what I really like with Loak is you can he's clearly like he misses his brother. He feels responsible for his brother's death and trying to live up to him because Nateum was, the perfect soldier and he's not.
Exactly. So
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
And also, and like the part where like he has like the gun to his chin.
Yeah.
Like he's thinking about suicide. Like, oh
yeah. God. Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, Jake was becoming a real jerk of a father, at some point. So I mean, and it's understandable.
I'll get to that later.
Yeah,
I'll get to that.
Yeah.
Barong, I thought she was a really good villain because I mean, y'all know how I feel about Quidditch.
Oh yeah.
And I'll get to him soon. And I liked the idea of humans being able to breathe the air on Pandora. So I liked what they were doing with Spider. In fact, his and Natiri's interactions, it kind of reminded me of how Kerchak felt about Tarzan.
Yep.
So I thought that was neat. I don't know if that was what James was homaging, but that was the vibe I was getting.
Could be. I mean, I forgot to mention Spider. Spider is like one of my very, very favorites. He was absolutely fantastic at this. He's a fierce little kid. You gotta love it. But I mean, yeah. But I just want to point out a couple of comments. Hunter Hewlett said Stephen Lang is such a talented actor. The first movie I ever saw him in was a movie called Gettysburg. I remember Gettysburg, Hunter. That was back from the 90s. And I forget it was I forget the name of the author who wrote that because he and his brother both wrote. There was another one that he wrote.
One of the first movies I think of when I think of Stephen Lang is Death of a Salesman. I don't know if you've seen that.
He was also Manhunter.
He was in Tombstone as well.
He was the sleazy journalist in Manhunter.
He played Ike Clanton in Tombstone. One of his best.
Oh yeah, he was in Tombstone.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's very good too. Very memorable, because I mean, he has all that bravado, but he's such a coward underneath, So, Stephen Lang. I remember Gettysburg. He played Pickett. He played General Pickett. Pickett's charge in me, but I mean, even though that wasn't Pickett's fault, that was Lee's fault. Lee's ordered that charge. Anyway, but yeah,
this has been Top Marks with Mr. Thompson.
There you go. Exactly. But yeah, and also he wanted to know: do you think Avatar 4 and 5 end up happening? I mean, it made $340 million.
They're gonna happen.
It's gonna happen either way.
Absolutely, yeah. It's gonna
as long as these movies keep making money. Then,
if I were to take a guess, since he's kind of getting sick of Avatar, I think he's gonna go off and do Ghosts of Hiroshima first, and then do Avatar 4 and 5, like just to take a break and then go off and do that because it
could be because the next one's not scheduled until 2029, December 2029.
Probably 30 when that comes out. What the hell?
Yeah.
From what I know, because
I'll be 40 by that time when that movie comes out.
I was 10 when the first one came out.
I read that. That's the movie I was trying to think of, Hunter. Gods and Generals. That was the other one, made by the same that book was written by the same guy who wrote the book on which the movie Gettysburg was based.
Yeah, but if in terms of Avatar 4, it's definitely happening. Like, I don't know if this will make $2 billion, but this is definitely making $1 billion. We all know it's making $1 billion.
Yeah,
That's China loves their Avatar. What can you say?
Yeah, even
They
though
love
China
their
market-
furries and they love their blue people.
Yeah, exactly.
They do.
Yeah, and big monster.
So
and
yeah, it's
Transformer movies.
just kind of interesting. China hates black people, but they do love blue people.
Yeah, and they do love their Transformers too. The Michael Bay Transformers. We put those movies over $1 billion easily. Yeah. So, but go ahead. Okay, I think it's right, dude.
It's my turn. Yeah. Okay. So for the positives, the visuals are spectacular as always. You know, if there's anything that you could take away from these movies, that they are so beautiful to look at, especially in IMAX 3D. You know, with how smooth the frame rate is. You know, I feel like this is a movie that would probably honestly kind of be worth seeing in IMAX 3D, just for the visuals, the visuals and the smooth frame rate, things like that. I do, and by the way, and I've told Mark this: the day that an Avatar film loses Best Visual Effects at the Oscars is the day that pigs fly.
Exactly. And I said, and I said the same thing, because I said there's no way this movie is losing Best Special Effects Oscar. There's no way.
No way.
Yeah,
no way. I mean, what does it have to go up against? Jurassic World Rebirth?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I'm getting off topic. The visuals are amazing. The 3D, the IMAX, all of it looks incredible. I do like a little bit some of the character that what they do with Spider, mainly with like him being able to not have to use his oxygen mask, you know, where he could be able to breathe. I do like what was her name again? The villain?
Kiri, the one, the little girl who was the daughter of Awa.
Neri, yeah. She was awesome though. She was a badass. So
yeah, she was really spunky. Yeah,
and
she's kind of I like what with her stuff.
Are you talking about Varag, the villain?
No, not Varang, the villain. Kiri, the little girl, the one who was
Lucas, the little girl.
Weaver. Yeah, she's like, because they explain she's basically like a clone of
Sigourney Weaver. I was talking about like the leader of the fire tribe.
Oh, Varang. Okay, I'm sorry.
Varang, yeah. No. Yeah, I was saying the villain. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry, my bad. Okay.
Yeah. I was a little confused, but yeah, she was so badass. I'll admit it does have some cool action sequences. You know, especially the climax. That was pretty awesome. So yeah, those are really I mean, the sound is awesome. I do like the cinematography, things like that. If I think of anything else, like I'll bring it up. So I'll let John go next.
Okay. So yep, visual effects. Yep, get that out of the way. Yep, that's the thing everybody praises. It's the one thing, even if you fucking hate these movies, they are visual spectacles and they are always absolutely fucking fantastic. So yeah, that's pretty fucking obvious at this point. I will say, the acting for the most part, very good. Lang, Chaplin, Saldana, the most of the kids, Cliff Curtis, Kate Winslet, all of them do a good job in terms of how some smaller than others, but for the most part, they all do a good job. And I would say, if I were to say the best performance, probably Saldana and Lang. Those are probably my favorites out of all of them. Although Una Chaplin, I would say, is close third, but those two I think have the most meat on the bones in terms of their characters here. I like some of the storylines, as I mentioned, as other people have mentioned. I like the stuff with Spider. I like the stuff with the idea of like faith a little bit, like the grief and faith. I think that was done okay, but I do have a problem with it that I will bring up later. I liked some aspects in terms of like the stuff with Kiri was relatively interesting. The stuff with the Fire Tribe is good. The stuff with Lang and Quaritch, like kind of going through the same thing that Jake Sully did, it's not exactly the same, but it's I still liked it from what they're doing with it, and I think those storylines were good. The best, I think, was the stuff with Spider, because that was the most original out of all of them. And I feel like most of this movie, not most of this, but like some of this movie's probably the most original out of the three. Yes, there are some aspects that I'll get into later, but for the most part, I feel like this was the most original in terms of like the Fire Tribe and Spider and some aspects here and there in regards to certain characters. So for the most part, I think like it's pretty quote unquote original, but not totally. The score was excellent. I thought the music was very good, even though it's not at the height of the original, because that was by Jack Horner, who is unfortunately no longer with us. But I thought hold on, I'm gonna look up who did the Fire and Ash, because I don't remember his name. It was Simon Franklin. I think that's how you pronounce it. I thought he did a good job with carrying what was done in the past, and James Horner. Sorry, James Horner, not Jack Horner. James Horner. He did a really good job with the original, and I think Simon kind of carried what he did and through the other films into this one. I thought some of the music was good. I thought the action sequences were still very, very good. I thought it was all like really, really well done, and really like very epic. Even if like some things were a little wonky here and there, I think for the most part the action sequence, like the Fire Tribe's attack initially on the Wind Traders, the not air nomads, I thought that was really good. The climax was good in terms of the action and a couple other things here and there, but for the most part the action sequences were really good. And then it overall had like a pretty enjoyable vibe. Like it was an enjoyable movie. It's not a ton of depth or anything like that, but for the most part I thought it was an enjoyable movie. So yeah.
But one more thing. Hunter had asked if I'm predicting Fire and Ash makes the range 1 to 1.4 billion. Does that seem reasonable? I'd say easily so for this franchise. I mean, that would be a lot lower than the other two have made, first two. But I mean, still, I would say so, because I mean, with a massive opening like that, chances are it's going to reach 1 billion easily, and probably, once, I don't know if it's opened in China yet, but yeah.
What competition does it? I mean, come on, what competition does it have? Anaconda, SpongeBob.
Rob, clearly the Housemaid.
The Housemaid's going for a different audience, like they say. The Housemaid's going for a completely different audience. So, I mean, but yeah, you're right. It doesn't have, aren't really any competition for it. So, I mean, and these films tend to have very long legs. So, I mean, fans, for whatever reason, controversy.
Look at how long the first movie was in theaters for.
Yeah. Months.
Exactly.
A long time. Yeah.
Like so, I'm even trying to think on what the next big blockbuster that would pretty much be able to overtake it, because like January is going to be a dead month.
Well, I mean, there's 28 weeks later coming out, and at the end of January. So
yeah, but that's not going to make like more than
Avatar money. No,
Avatar's going to
The only things I'm thinking are probably going to make that kind of like the Avatar close to the Avatar money is basically your typical comic book movies like Avengers Doomsday or Spider-Man Brand New Day.
The Odyssey.
But even then, Doomsday doesn't come out until next year, like December of next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Or,
You guys get the teaser, by the way?
What's that?
Did you guys get the teaser? The Steve Rogers will return.
Oh yeah, no, I
got it.
I didn't get it. I don't think my screening had any trailers because I came in.
You didn't miss anything. It shows him from the back, then it sweeps around. The camera sweeps around. It shows him holding a baby. I mean, that's it. That's it.
Well, I'm talking like when I walked in, it cut to Loak and Natam talking and hugging. That was what I walked into. I didn't know if I missed anything prior to that.
I remember Devin texted me while he was there and just said like, "Hey, did I miss anything?" And I was like, "Well, it had the two brothers pretty much flying through Pandora, but that's about it." So
yeah. The two brothers, Loak with his dead brother, kind of like a dream sequence, So yeah.
I didn't miss anything. I came in just in time, I guess.
Yeah, I like but all right.
Yeah,
is that it for positives?
If there's anything else I could think of, I'll bring it up.
Yeah. But I mean, I like what they did with the kids too, especially like Loak. Loak, I thought was outstanding. I love his story arc. It seems that
I like Loak
to be the new Jake Sully. That's why I figured
Loak's arc.
I expected Jake Sully to die in this one because it looked to me like Loak.
That's what I was thinking was going to happen too.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. So, but I mean, I guess I don't know. We'll have to see what supposedly he gets even more insane in Avatar 4 and 5. So we'll have to see. So, all right, let's get on to mixed. Let's get on to mixed. What was more mixed for you, gentlemen? I mean, I pretty much like almost everything. I'd say one of the mixed is, like I said, I guess what I just said. I figured Jake Sully would die and Loak would kind of move up ahead in his place as kind of sort of step up as leader of the family, or at least, I guess as the man of the family, because the leader would still be Neytiri. But still, I figured he was kind of take his father's place, especially since the kids seem to be pretty much ready now. I mean, they're coming together and everything. But I mean, I don't know. I think you can say, but I mean, I can kind of see the criticism that it played it too safe. I mean, I guess that would be more of a negative thing. But I mean, for me, it still worked because I think this was the darkest film of the three. And it makes sense because being the middle part of a 5-act structure, this is the kind of the crucial thing. This is when things get their darkest.
Yeah, kind of like Empire Strikes Back being the darkest. Because I mean, this was technically, sorry to cut you off, but technically this was, I mean, James Cameron has said time and time again that he overwrote the movies he wanted to do. So essentially 2 and 3 are the second movie, and then 4 and 5 are going to be the third movie. Just the vibe I'm getting, because this still continued with like the Water Tribe, and it was them there, and we know Avatar 4 is going to have a time skip. So, that's pretty evident that,
this movie, I even said, like, this movie should have been called Way of Water Part 2.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because, I mean, I didn't have really much mixed so much. I mean, I guess most of my criticism would be kind of mixed, but kind of negative. I don't know. But I mean, I pretty much like most things, I thought Edie Falco was pretty good, because I mean, I thought that they would that Quaritch by the end of this one might be ready to kind of accept, because he's definitely becoming more Na'vi than human at this point, because I mean, he's definitely more comfortable walking amongst the Na'vi, especially the Fire Tribe. I mean, it seemed this is kind of part of his journey, because I mean, the way he kind of connected with Garang on several levels, because the way he kind of connected with her on several levels. really kind of, he seems that he's more comfortable, not only speaking their language, their culture and everything. He's just part of them, really, and he just kind of hanging on to, no, I'm human, where it's like, dude, no, bro, you're not anymore. But I mean, I would like to have seen him take a bit more chance. I don't know how I feel about him dying. I guess that would be my big mix thing. So I mean, because it was bold, it's like, oh crap, he's like said, no, fuck you. And so but I don't know. We'll have to see. But I guess Rob and then John, you can go ahead and go. We'll just get back to Devin.
Okay. All right. For mixed, I would probably say it was a little confusing at times to figure out where Quaritch's character was even supposed to go. It's like one moment he's pretty much teaming up with Jake, and I mean, I get that it's like he's trying to do like a secret agent, double agent kind of thing, but it's just like it felt a little kind of all like with this character. I really wasn't sure exactly because it felt like a little all over the place. Just at times, for me, and again, it seems like for the mix, it seems like it was just repeating certain beats that we have seen before with these kinds of movies. It's just like those are just some of the big things that I had. I do have a big negative, but I'll save that for later. So.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, John. Then we'll let it end with you, Devin.
Okay. So for me, some of the mixed things that could have been done better. Well, I did like some of the storylines, like with Neytiri grieving and like her faith being utilized. That just ends up fucking going nowhere. Like it's just like kind of in the beginning of the movie, and then it's just kind of dropped off. And then I feel like a lot of the storylines only come up when it's convenient. Like it doesn't feel like a through line throughout most of the movie, like the stuff with Spider and Neytiri. That's brought up as convenience, and then it's like done away with entirely when fucking Jake is about to kill Spider and all that. So I feel like a lot of those storylines just kind of come up or are kind of abandoned entirely. Like half the time is like the whole thing with like Kiri being like the chosen one. That's kind of not really brought up a lot. And then like I mean the like the littlest Scully kid is like barely in the movie. Like I understand you can only do so much. I assume Rob went like disconnected. I assume like you can only do so much with like a really little kid. So like, but even then, it's kind of awkward where it's like, oh, she's just kind of there, and it's just like, oh yeah, do this, and then like the stuff with like the brother feeling inadequate. That's kind of done away with after a while. Same with Jake and his relationship with Loak. That's like kind of done away with after a while. It's just like it feels like a lot of the stuff that they set up in like the first act are done away with entirely, or like only brought up for convenience sake, and they don't feel like a proper through line throughout most of the movie. Even though I liked a lot of the stuff with the Fire Tribe and Lang and Una Chaplin's character and all that, I feel like the Fire Tribe was kind of one dimensional. Like they don't really like do much. And especially when like those ideas could have been very well written and very interesting, where it's like you have like the idea of a Navi against Navi, where it's like two different cultures against each other, and like, well, how they're like technically siding with the colonizers and all that. I'm like, that could have been really interesting, but I feel like they don't take advantage of that or don't do anything exceptionally interesting with it. I do still think Chaplin gave a good performance. They were pretty good villains, but I feel like like with most things in the Avatar franchise, very one-dimensional in the end, and it could have been done a lot better. Even though I do think this is technically the most original out of all of them, a lot of this movie is still very repetitive of previous entries. Like, Quaritch essentially going on, doing Jake's arc from the first movie. Still different enough to like make it work, but it's still noticeable. And then on top of that, like literally the entire climax of this movie is like a copy and paste of Way of Water. It's like they're going after the whales because of the golden plasma shit. And then we have to stop them with the help of the water tribe. But now they also have the fire tribe. It's essentially the same climax. Don't get me wrong. It's a fun climax. And I liked it. And I was engaged. And it was a good action sequence. But it's like you literally just copy and pasted the same exact thing. Except more people die because you have to, because it's a darker entry. So I felt that was not great, but a lot of
God damn it.
So a lot of the stuff felt very repetitive, and you know, a lot of storylines, a lot of the vibe, it just kind of felt like you're doing the same thing over and over again. So that wasn't great. I think that it's 3 hours and it feels like 3 hours. The pacing is not very good. I was and it didn't help that the second act was like very tedious after a while, to the point I did kind of fall asleep during like the second half of the movie. But to be fair, I was in the Dolby seats and I had a seat warmer and it was very comfortable. So I didn't want to fall asleep because I was actually engaged with this one, but man, those fucking Dolby seats. If I could buy one of those and use it as a bed, I fucking would, because I kind of want to go see Fire and Ash again just so I can get a 3-hour nap in, because I swear to God, I'm going to have like the best sleep of my life. Nothing against the movie. That's nothing against the movie. It's long, so I'll know I'll get a good nap. Like if I see FNAF 2, and that I'm only going to get a 90-minute nap.
There you go.
3 hours.
Yeah. Hey, look, my mother used to fall asleep at movies all the time. You know, one time I was like, Mom, you slept through the whole movie. She's like, shut up, boy. Best 2-hour nap I ever had.
Exactly. And now, especially when seats are this comfortable,
Exactly.
It's fucking good. Like, again, it didn't help that the pacing isn't great. And the second act was like, again, it kind of fed into the more repetitive natures of the movie. However, I still wanted to like stay up and stay engaged. And I kind of felt bad for kind of sleeping during, because I'm like, I was actually kind of like interested. It's just like the slowness and the pacing just kind of brought it down a little bit, unfortunately. So I do have to say that, unfortunately, I do have to say that maybe it's a knock. Although I have slept during really good movies too. So, you know, that's beside the point. But yeah. I had to say it. I don't want to be too like biased or unbiased or whatever the wording is. But yeah, for the most part, the mixed, like, I just feel like a lot of the things, they could have been done better. Like, it's not like, that's why it's in mixed, because it's like, I'm just like, it was more of like, I'm not mad or angry at them, but it's just like the disappointment was like, you could have done those things so much better. And I feel like we could have gotten a better movie, but you had to do those things. And now it's just not quite as good. But yeah. Those are my mixed. But anyway, Devin, what are your...
Go ahead, Devin.
I would probably say my mix is leaning more towards negative.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you didn't go because you were out. So I was just...
negative.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I guess mine were kind of borderline mixed or negative too, because I mean, it's more like John. You know, I don't think they were necessarily bad. I just think they could have been done better. But I would just kind of reiterate how I don't think it kind of went dark enough, because I really thought at one point, okay, wow, they're really just about to lose here. And then once again, they escape by the skin of their teeth. I thought it would have been more interesting to kind of end it right there with them just losing. It's like, okay, we just have to retreat. We just lost. We just got our asses kicked. I thought it would have been more in line with, say, Empire Strikes Back with them losing. But I mean, and then them kind of course, saving the day, of course, and all that. But I mean, I felt they could have gone a little bit. It wasn't bad, because it was still a fantastic total blowout ending. Kind of only James Cameron can do best. Still a lot of fun. Especially seeing the kids bonding and everything, all of them coming together, and how Kiri could not bond with Awa without, kind of risking death, going into epileptic coma and risking death. But yeah, I guess that would be my main criticism. It could have been a little darker, because it was a little bit of a rehash of the first two as far as the finale. But I mean, I did enjoy it. Maybe you could say I suffered from a little bit of sequelitis, and it kind of go for the bigger and better. I mean, rather than But again, not really a hard negative. Really, I mean, not something I dislike necessarily. Just thought they could have done better. But what about you, Devin?
Okay, so first of all, hello, Vinny. Nice try trolling me. It's a pretty adorable effort. Also, you spelled my name wrong. Sky's brother's in the chat.
Says something keeps moving by your window.
You ain't fooling me again, bro. But anyway, a lot of my negatives, again, you guys got to keep in mind, I don't like these. I'm not crazy about these movies. But when it comes to my main negatives, this certainly is an Avatar movie. And when I say that, this movie is beyond repetitive. It hits so many of the same beats as the first two movies, to a point where this movie starts to become so goddamn predictable. I knew what was going to happen. I knew where it was going to lead to. I knew, even though this was supposed to be the darkest chapter, I knew they were going to play it safe. I knew, nobody was going to die. I knew Jake was going to live. The fact that they're saying, oh, Quidditch jumped off the cliff, is it? We know he's going to live. He's going to be in all these movies. They tried doing that last time. We know he's going to come back. And speaking of Quidditch, I was excited that we were going to get a new villain. Oh, this is going to be the main threat. Instead, we just have Quidditch being the main villain again. I love Stephen Lang, but Quidditch isn't interesting. And a lot of the characters here are still not interesting. I mean, despite some of the ones because I liked what they did with Spider, I liked what they did with Varang, I liked what they did with Lowak, but Kiri's still the same Jesus metaphor. Mary Sue, Took is still child. I don't know how you guys feel, but in my opinion, if you take Took out of these movies, nothing would change. She serves no point outside of just getting captured all the time. She's just a little damsel in distress. I know it sounds like I'm picking on the guy, but I just gotta be honest. I don't like Sam Worthington. He's not a good actor. And I've used the term wet sandwich to describe people like Justice Smith or Randall Park. Sam Worthington is absolutely a wet sandwich. He's just Mr. Bland and Mr. Boring. Just, monotone Australian guy. That's all he is.
Sound like more like Jason Statham than Sam Worthington.
I'm a Navi.
I'm a blue person. All right,
Blue person.
What the fuck you doing over there?
And speaking of which, Jason Statham is having another movie called Shelter. I'm Shelter Man.
I'm Kevin
the shelter.
I do booby traps on my island.
We know, Jason. And I'm still not crazy about this whole characterization. They went, because I get, he's the tribe leader, and he's also a dad. But first, they make him in the first movie, he's just boring, and in this movie and in the second movie, they make him an asshole. And, Jake's just not a likable character. And John pointed this out. Just like in this one, just like the first movie, a lot of the conflict is Jake's fault. Because he just doesn't think clearly. And the movie, it's way too long. This feels every bit of 3 hours. It's beyond. At certain points, I was just nodding off. And I feel even though we have this 3 hour runtime, we still could have used a little bit more character development.
Sounds like someone didn't have comfy enough seats.
I mean, the seats at my theater, they're comfy.
I'm just kidding.
Although I will say having a heated seat while we're watching would be pretty nice. But I don't know. Like, these movies still just aren't doing it for me. I wish like James would do, because everyone always says, like, oh yeah, the Avatar movies. The point is the stories aren't great. You gotta watch it's all about the visuals. Ooh, pretty. I'm not that guy. I'm not a style over substance kind of fella. You can't just say, ooh, isn't this pretty? You gotta give me a story, and you gotta give me a lot of characters I'm invested in. And outside of the ones I've made, I could care less about any of these other characters. Those are just some of my big negatives.
Yeah.
And definitely some character decisions too. Like the minute it's like when Jake was about to kill Spider, I'm immediately I'm like, is this gonna be like Old Yeller? Or like a Mice and Men? Like, all right, Lenny, look at the rabbit. All right, Spider, look at the rabbits. That was what I was expecting. And like what John was saying, there were so many plot threads that could have went somewhere, but are just either quickly resolved or just put on hold, just be brought up later. And again, you have a 3-hour movie. You could have fleshed more of this out, and you didn't. Like, James, I love you, but come on, man. But those are my negatives.
In terms of my negatives, I do agree with Devin about a lot of the characters just felt kind of there were some good characters here, like Spider, Loak, and but it's like other characters like Jake, he was just kind of bland, and he was kind of a dick in some scenes, and of course the biggest negative for me is just the fact that it was so long. So it's like I don't see why this had to be 3 hours long. I don't see why either of these movies had to be one, but I mean, and I just couldn't get too much into a lot of the characters. So the characterization, and it seemed like they had some interesting arcs and things like that, but they didn't flesh it out as much as they should have. So, I'll let John go next.
So for me, I agree with Devin. The stuff with Jake, pretty much everything with Jake as a character, as an acting performance, as everything is a negative. I just didn't care about what he was doing. He was just he's boring or an asshole. It's one of the two, and it's just everything he's doing is I get what some of the stuff that they started could have been interesting, but that's another storyline that didn't really get fleshed out. Probably he's putting everything into his work. He's doing everything to get the guns so that to help protect all that shit, but it's kind of done away with very quickly, and that adds to my mixed. But it's just Sam Worthington is not the best actor. It's just kind of funny because in the late 2000s and early 2010s, kind of Taylor Kitsch or Jai Courtney, Sam Worthington was propped up to be the next big thing, and then he wasn't, and now he's just in bargain bin crap, and then this. It's just funny how James Cameron is just kind of stuck with this mediocre actor as part of his big action sci-fi fantasy franchise. So he's just oh, well, I guess I got to keep using him because I fucking bit the bullet on this guy who I thought was going to be the next big thing. It turned out he wasn't. So it's just kind of a little funny. But like, I mean, Sam Worthington's getting paid very well, so not like he cares. He's laughing all the way to the bank while we're all losers struggling to fucking find a diamond between the couch cushions. So, so, but it's just like, I'm just still going to comment on it. Cause like, I just don't think it's a very good performance. I think he's like okay at best, and I didn't care about his character stuff, and I just didn't think it was very well written. A lot of the writing, that's probably another negative. It's just a lot of the writing is just not very good. Carrie, just like her character, just like everything about her, like the fact that, like, again, they're doing a chosen one thing of like the Jesus metaphor and all that stuff. It's just like, it's a bit much. Like, I don't mind chosen one stuff, because like that's literally the hero's journey. Like, all right, like hero's journey, that's been a thing since like fucking like millennia, and that's fine. It's just the way they're doing it here is just so surface level, no pun intended, and it's just kind of just not very interesting, and it doesn't have a ton of depth to it. It's just, she's just kind of there, and then like she's kind of like the Deus Ex Machina for a lot of stuff. Ewe Ex Machina. It's just like it's like, oh, she saves the people because Iwe, the fucking like tree, whatever, Iwe, whatever the fuck how you pronounce it. Iwa, I think that's what it is.
Ewa.
I
think it's Ewa.
Iwa. I sound like I have a lisp or something, but
Ewa,
Ewa is.
Awa.
But Ewa Ex Machina is for a lot of stuff, and like her connecting to that. It's just like it's all right, come on. So that's like and plus like the idea of like Sigourney Weaver playing a teenager is just it's so distracting. It's so like say what you will. I mean, Sigourney Weaver, terrific actress. I love Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver is a fucking queen, but like it's just so awkward hearing like her like give this performance as a teenager, and then them like putting in post-production like boosting her octave levels so she sounds younger. It's just so like distracting and awkward, and it's just like I can't get into the performance, even if there was like something more with her character. It's just like I can't get into it because it's so awkward and cringy and just distracting, unfortunately. So I hated the backpedaling. I really hated the back. Like you had the whole thing with like Jake Sully hates the fucking, the lesser son, and then he plays favorites, all that shit. And then so he's like, you're a disappointment to this family. And then at the end of Waywater, he's like, I see you now.
See you.
And then at the beginning of this movie, he's like, no, I don't see you. Go fuck yourself. And then he hates his son again throughout most of the movie. And then at the end, he's like, I'm proud of you. You proved yourself to me. It's like he already did at the end of the fucking last movie. What the fuck do you mean?
Like, what else does he have to do?
It's just like it felt so like awkward, or it's just like it's just the repetitive nature of it all. And I just wish it could have been like, obviously, if like the whole like grief of like losing his son and all of that, I understand that could have been like a friction and all that. Then that could have been like a dour on the relationship because they're letting the grief like take over, but it's not executed well at all. It just comes off as backpedaling. And so that was the thing that bothered me. A lot of the stuff that they were like trying to do with this, with the last movie, they achieved it. And then they had to backpedal with this one because you have the plot demands it, So that was the thing that kind of was annoying. I know this is going to sound like more of a nitpick, but it was just like kind of eye rolling to me. So I kind of put it in negative. It probably should have been in mixed, but like, I'll just put it in negative because the aliens reference, it's just like, James, come on. Don't remind us we could be watching a better movie right now, because like, it's like, we get it. Sigourney Weaver saying, get away from her, you bitch. Ha ha ha. Yeah. I wish I could be watching fucking aliens right now, but instead I'm watching this shit. So, that was not great. And then the guy with the missing arm who died, who you didn't give a fuck about and you forgot he was a villain half the time. Oh yeah, he dies like Quint in Jaws. Okay, cool, great. Whatever. It's just like, again, I could be watching a much better movie right now, but here we are. And then the Bible references were annoying. that like you had the stuff with like for instance Neytiri like in the when the Fire Nation attacked, sorry, when the Fire Tribe attacked the Air Nomads, sorry, not the Air Nomads, the Wind Traders, and she falls through the vines, like she falls from her dragon thingy and she falls through the vines and she's like kind of laying there. I'm like, oh, it's like Mary taking Jesus off the cross, and that's like the the position he was in. And then you have the stuff with Jake and Spider. Oh, he's like, it's like Abraham killing his son. We got it. Okay. And then you had the thing with Kiri, the Jesus Christ metaphor. And then like, oh, she gets resurrected and like it looks like she's wearing angel wings. It's like, all right, we got it. It's annoying, but
They're
yeah,
not
it's
subtle,
just like
James.
So yeah, I just wish we didn't need that, and it was just overall unnecessary, hence why I put it in negatives. But yeah, it just those are the things that were not great to me. But anyway,
there was another. I will say there was another one I do want to mention. I brought up that I did bring up how this felt repetitive over the other two movies. The ending of this movie is straight up just Titanic. Like, remember when Rose reunites with Jack and all the people that died in the afterlife at the end of the movie? We got the same thing here. Like, James, you're really ripping off yourself? That's just sad.
Mark?
Mark.
Oh.
Are we ready for our final verdict and grades now?
Yeah.
All right, let's move it on then. I'll go ahead and I usually go last, but since I'm the host, I'll go ahead and go first. For me, I thought it worked. And basically, this is an Avatar movie. It's not going to change your mind one way or the other. Probably more than likely, it's not going to change your mind one way or the other. It's like I was saying before, I can't remember if it was on the stream or off, but I mean, like I said before, it's like when I first encountered Primus in the late 90s, a guy I knew, he was a fan of theirs. On the album, it said something akin to, if you didn't like us before, you're not going to you'll really hate us now, So, I mean, it's basically, it kind of doubles down on its Avatar. That's it. So, not saying it's a perfect film. I mean, if you're like, but I mean, I really like the first two, or really like this one. So, I mean, if you like the first one, you probably like this one. If you didn't like the first two, you probably won't like this one. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, he's not trying. I don't think he's trying to convert anybody new at this point, but it is what it is. So, but for me, I really enjoyed it. The spectacle was grand. I had a lot of fun. So me, I was very happy. I thought this was the best one. And and I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Really a 9 out of 10. So I was very, very happy. Yeah. So Devin, what about you? And I didn't give it the first two I gave, I think like an 8 or 8.5 out of 10. So I think if I remember correctly. So go ahead, Devin.
I don't remember. I don't even remember what you gave it. I think you gave it a 4.5 on the second one, a 4.5 on Letterboxd. I remember that.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But again, just like with Way of Water, just like with the other two movies, this still didn't get me on the Navi's side. It's a serviceable, beautiful, fine movie. Like, it's not the worst thing ever. Like, these movies aren't like offensively terrible, but it's just these beautiful visuals deserve a better story. They deserve more. They deserve like to be a little bit more interesting. But I will say, again, like the stuff that's good is really good. And I will admit this did grind me a little bit more than the first two. Whereas, but still, it's just the wish. I don't know. Like, there's still a lot of room for improvement, and I'm trying to figure out. Like, I'm still possibly a maybe. Like, if I do want to decide to watch, if I want to watch 4 and 5, I'll wait. I'll probably just wait for a trailer or a plot for me to change my mind. Because if it's going to be a little bit different, I'll go see him. But if it's going to be more of the same, I might tap out. But again, I don't hate this. I don't hate this movie. It's fine. It's beautiful. The action's good. There are some there are some really compelling character moments, some fun action. But again, it's more of the same. So I'm gonna give it a light 6 out of 10.
Wait, what the heck? Oh, sorry. Sorry. I was on the wrong one. Sorry. All right. So 6 out of 10 for Devin.
So for me, this is it's pretty much all you need to know about this movie is that it's an Avatar movie. If you like the last two, then you will definitely like this one. I'm sure of it. If you didn't like the last two, then this isn't really going to change anything for you. So that's all you pretty much have to need to know. I just kind of wish that they do more with like some of these characters and all. I wish that maybe it didn't have to be super long, you know. Yes, the visuals are amazing and they are best visual effects worthy at the Oscars. You know that's going to sweep. This movie's going to sweep that award. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But even then, I would like to see more of these characters being more fleshed out, being more interesting, things like that. If I will still give the fourth one a chance. In fact, if anything, I'll definitely be watching the fourth. I'll be watching the fourth one with my fellow North Carolinian here. We're gonna see it in IMAX. But these movies, I don't hate. They're not bad movies. They're just kind of there for me. So with that, I have to give it a 6.5 out of 10. I'm not Devin.
Yes, you are Devin.
Does that make him Rob?
Yes, exactly. Yes, Rob.
Well, you need wait. You gotta completely lose it. You need the blanket around you.
Well, then if that's the case, then you need this.
My son had some in my car.
Anyway, so Avatar movie, I expected to have a good time and I had a good time. It does have a multitude of problems, but I just accepted that and knew I was going to have at the very least a surface level yet entertaining action sci-fi film. Yeah, it's repetitive. Yeah, it's kind of boring at parts. Pacing's not very good. Some acting and themes are a little awkward and off. But for the most part, I had a time with it. The visual effects are still amazing. Most of the acting is still very good. It was an overall enjoyable vibe. Score was good. Action sequences were good. So I had a good time with it. It's probably the best out of 3. And I did say if this was better than Way of Water, I'd go see the fourth one. So I will go see the fourth one, and we'll see if that one is better than this. Then maybe by Avatar 5, we might actually get a good movie. So, a really good movie. So, I'll go see Avatar 4. And the thing is, here's the thing I will say about all this. I know it's fun to shit on Avatar and all that. And I was, we were all kind of shitting on it. However, it's like, okay, who would you rather support in terms of box office potential? James Cameron, one of the greatest directors who's ever lived, or Disney?
Thank you.
To be fair, Disney owns Avatar.
But I mean,
exactly.
This is still James Cameron. This is Fox. It's James Cameron's baby. And I meant in terms of MCU Star Wars, more that vibe. But yes, you are correct. I just meant we're supporting James Cameron. I'd rather support James Cameron over the next MCU assembly line crap fest or Mandalorian and Grogu.
Over Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh,
that's coming out next year.
Yeah. So,
speaking of which, so whenever we see a movie in IMAX, there's usually this little countdown thing. Sometimes they have a different variety. The IMAX countdown variety was for Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
That shit's gonna make a shit ton of money because general audiences don't give a fuck about the whole Star Wars thing. Another Star Wars movie in theaters. Yeah, I'll go see that. It'll please the kiddies for 90 minutes. They didn't
go for Solo, but I mean, geez, we'll have to see. But I mean, what was your final rating, John? You never actually.
Oh
said.
yeah, sorry, 6.5 out of 10. Sorry, I got distracted.
It's all right.
Now he's
Same score,
Rob.
it's fine.
Now he's Rob.
It's the same score, so it's fine. It's all good. It's whatever.
All right. Well, that's our stream, and I hope you had a good time. So, and what is our next review, guys?
Well, so our next review will be the final review of 2025. And what did they say about Dairy, Mark?
No one in Derry ever really dies.
So get ready. We're gonna review it. Welcome to a Dairy, and it'll be hosted by me. Otherwise, Dad Sick Loud.
I didn't even hear a single word you just said. So
I got to. Maybe I should probably get a new microphone. I don't know what's going on with this.
You're just probably a little too close to it. But we got the point. But yeah, welcome to Derry.
This guy.
Yeah, exactly.
yes, sirree.
I should
I
just
still
showed
need
the
to
guy.
catch up.
What happens?
But I
in
still have.
Derry
I have
stays in Derry.
2.5 episodes left.
Hey,
What
We're
happens
not
in
going to
Derry
spoil.
stays in Derry.
We're not spoiling anything for you. We promise.
I will say he was. I will only say he was.
Bruce Willis was dead the whole time.
Yeah, last few comments. Jack Slaw, sup? Jack Slaw, like one of the comments. Oh yeah, welcome to Derry. Definitely. We appreciate it, Willie Dog. More funny than someone called him out. Seriously, we still don't. The movie, yeah. Welcome to Derry. Welcome to Derry. So we will see you next week, and you guys have a Merry Christmas. Peace out. Once again, we have brought light into the world. You're welcome, America.